Wow.
Right now, our plan is to stay focused on what we do, and that's being the best fiber company in Hong Kong.
Right.
We see wireless as a complement rather than a substitute for fiber, especially in the Hong Kong context where it's so dense. So it's very cost-effective to build out fiber. Essentially, if you look at wireless, it's a shared technology, so it's not suitable for high bandwidth applications. I believe AT&T wireless network has suffered because of the success of iPhone eating up the capacity.
Right.
So if you think about that, iPhone is only using very light apps. But if you load up a cellular network with true internet, like PC-based usage, it's incapable of keeping up with a fiber network. So in short, we see wireless as a complement rather than a substitute for fiber, especially in the Hong Kong environment.
Right, and I had to ask you that question because I know that investors probably be thinking about that, saying, "Okay, fiber is great, but it's good for investors to realize what potential competition around the technology side could be out there." And I'm glad you addressed that. I like the fact that you've actually provided your customers with a money-back guarantee, a 2 times money-back guarantee. Can you tell me a little bit about that? Because that's impressive. I haven't heard of anything like that in North America, and God knows a lot of customers here, end users here, would love to have guarantees like that because of reliability. How are you able to afford to give that money back guarantee?
George, in the last 10 years, we have essentially built a local area network to 1.5 million households, and we are on track to expand that to 2 million households by 2011 using our organic EBITDA. That network is essentially a corporate quality network. It's a fiber to within 100 meters of the end user. This allows us to deliver that service level guarantee or the service level agreement that is typically reserved for only the large multinationals. So in Hong Kong, we offer 80% of the advertised bandwidth or 2 times your money back. So if you subscribe to our standard 100 megabit download, 100 megabit upload service, you'll get at least 80%. I believe we are the first company in the world and the only company in the world so far to offer this service on a mass scale.
Yeah, I haven't heard of that. So that speaks volumes about how you're backing up, how you back up and stand behind your service and your brand. Let's finally touch on the last point here. You earlier, just a few minutes ago, you talked about the fact that you had just a $200 million market cap for a company achieving pretty good success. How do you size yourself up relative to other valuations in the industry? You've got a presentation here as of the end of August where it seems like the market still hasn't quite caught up to City Telecom and understanding, but obviously it's been gaining over the last month while you've been on the road. How do you feel about your valuation right now? Obviously, I know you can't give price targets and investment advice, but how do you feel as a company about the valuation you're at right now?
I think I just put things into perspective, that these are not price targets, but it gives you points of relativity. Our less than 200 million market cap, or around 200 million market cap, compared to about cumulative investment to date over the past 10 years of about $380 million US. I think there is a strategic value and a time value of money in terms of having built the most comprehensive fiber network in town. Once again, I would emphasize our market cap of around 200 million compares with a market size of 3.6 billion US dollars. Is the sandbox that we play in.
Last thing I want to touch on, I think this is for your filings for your year end back in February, but back then you had about $71 million in cash. First, is that number still accurate? Is it higher or lower? Because what I like about that number is with only 33 million ADRs out right now, you've got over $2 in cash per ADR. Tell me if I'm wrong.
George, it's been updated. And if you look at our 6F filings since then, I think we filed in July.
Okay.
We use some of that cash to pay down our debt.
Okay.
So I think it's more appropriate to look at us on a net debt basis. We're essentially net debt free now.
And that's pretty impressive for a broadband provider, especially in North America where they're constantly undergoing some pretty large capital expenditures. Let me finish off by handing the table over to you and any last comments before we sign off.
I think that the last comment is that we're very happy about what we're doing in Hong Kong. We're very pleased that things are heading in the right direction.
And thank you very much for taking the time out. I know you're on the West Coast this morning, so it's been an early morning for you. And everyone over at China Securities appreciates that, all the investors. And just so you know, and everybody else out there knows, this is going to go on the front page of ChinaSecurities.com. It's going to go on the blog, Twitter, StockTwits, YouTube, and a number of other video sites around the world. But if you want to learn more about Citi Telecom, get over to ChinaSecurities.com and punch in the stock symbol CTEL on the NASDAQ, or their full name, Citi Telecom. Nick, thank you very much for being with us, and we look forward to following up with you again in the near future.
Thank you, George. Speak to you soon.